Really must apologise. I mean, nothing like this has ever happened before. I mean, there's obviously been a database error.
Well, two schools can't represent the same country.
The question is, what are we going to do about it?
Okay, I got one. Being that this is Model UA, why not we let the delegates work it out? Teams, think of this as your first assignment.
Well, the dream team is just like kind of a whole bunch of group of friends that are in the program Model UN, and they have a lot of fun together, and we travel, and we all have a good connection. They're very close, all of them together. They all know everything about each other.
We were looking for some material that would be older for the girls. It would not be like a light comedy. We were kicking around ideas and somebody said, hey, what about the Model United Nations as a backdrop for the story? And a lot of light bulbs went off and people said, yeah, that's interesting. That's more grown up. That could be fun. And yet we get to do a film about that it's cool to be smart.
Queen Elizabeth, official title.
Her Royal Highness. Short for Elizabeth II by grace of God of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and her other realms and territories. Whatever. Yeah, we've been competitive in the movie, and you know that's what we're supposed to do. And not so close in the beginning. I knew your attitude was going to sink this team. You're the only one with attitude. We're not actually saving the world, Chloe. It's something different than we've ever done before, so it was nice.
Mary-Kate's character is gung-ho to win, and she's a real competitor.
This competition is very important to me. It's not some play-to-play thing. It's a play-to-win thing.
And Ashley's character is a lot more take life easy, hang out with boys, and be relaxed.
What? I love Model UN. You get to talk about world issues and vote on stuff. Admit it. You want to get closer to Brian, and this is your ticket in.
So they're on each other's nerves, and they learn to get along by the end of the movie.
Wait.
This is from the movie Winning London. They each have 25 costume changes.
They're pretty much in charge of the wardrobe now and what they look like.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool outfit right here. We like this outfit a lot. Like the little belt. Our stylist, picks a whole bunch of clothes and then we say what we like out of all of them.
We get a script and we read it, and I have a conversation with the girls. We always try to be fashion forward. So we decide what we think is going to be the new trends, the direction that the trends are going to go in, and how we can work it into the story in the movie. And we decided in this movie we're going to go for a real fall European look. A lot of sweaters, a lot of fall colors. We did a lot of purses, a lot of boots, lots of hats, sunglasses, just a very European flavor.
Yes, they look fab all the time, and that's part of who they are and part of who their characters are. We try to integrate the fashion, the hair, the clothes, all of it into the story so that it is part of their characters.
They play a really big, important part in the fashion industry. There's always emails and letters, and one of the biggest questions is where do you get your clothes? I like your shoes.
They love to see what are the girls wearing, how are they wearing it, how's their hair in this film.
We talk together, so together we like to keep them pretty much on the edge of what's going on. They've got different looks now. And Mary-Kate just wants to be practical, sort of is feathering a little. I call it kind of like the unfinished Farrah. It's that very kind of 70s kind of feel. And the same with the waves, with Ashley with her long hair. It is very sort of cutting edge, I think.
It's raining. It's the first problem. London's not a big problem.
It started pouring rain, and then as soon as we did the shot with the umbrellas, because it was raining so much, it stopped raining. It was sunny outside, so the rest of the day we have to use umbrellas. So far, the scenes that we shot were some sword fighting scenes and polo scenes. Action, it was a lot of fun. We shot the sword fighting scenes in the Globe Theater, and that was amazing. We took sword fighting lessons the night before. Yeah, that was kind of difficult to shoot because you had to remember which way to hit, and doing the lines at the same time and sword fighting is a little difficult. Deny thy father and refuse thy name, be but sworn by love.
And Juliet is the son.
He is so cute.
With Mary-Kate and Ashley, you can't go wrong. Put them in a fun situation and cut them loose, and they are just fun to watch. When normal people smile, they look nice. But when they smile, the whole screen lights up.
This film's a little different subject-wise and a little more about relationship with boys and...
Mine is kind of an older brother sort of thing. Like, I've known him for a long time and we've grown up together.
Briley is my mother's best friend's daughter.
That's me, Mom's best friend's daughter. And I finally start realizing that, wow, he's a really great guy and that I really like him. And chase him all the way to England. I chase him all the way to London. And that's basically the relationship.
Stay away from my boat.
And then mine, I meet a guy here, and his father's in Parliament. He's a lord, and we like each other when we see each other. And I play very hard to get, and we always come back with good lines.
Is this one of those quit while you're ahead things?
No, more like quit while you're behind things. Very competitive against each other. James, you should know something about me.
What?
I play to win.
As do I. We just choose to play differently.
It's a cute storyline.
Can you tell us about those rumors we've heard?
You're just gonna have to find out about that one.
It's great visiting all these different countries. I mean, there's so many more sites, there's so many more things to look at, there's so many more things to learn about. So that really adds to this series of movies that we're doing that makes it exciting for all of us.
And they just go around London, have fun, and see all the sights. The Tower of London and seeing the crown jewels. Love the crown jewels. Ooh, I have the same earring. Except smaller. We saw the second biggest diamond, which is the Star of Africa. Yes, the second Star of Africa. And the biggest one, I guess, is the Star of India.
We are here to make the Queen's Guard laugh. Riley?
Mary, Kate and Ashley were going to try and either make me move or blink. Certainly try and make me do something anyway. She's not allowed in the guards.
What do you call a piece of wood with nothing to do? Bored! I thought he could relate. What do you get when you throw a cat out of a car window? Kitty litter.
They approve all the storylines. We work on the stories together, what's interesting to them. They really wanted to come here and experience London. They hadn't been here before.
We went shopping, we've seen the churches and stuff like that, the architecture. All the old buildings. Yeah, it's really cool. They're very narrow and cobblestone streets. It's very cool.
Ladies?
We're working with an English kid, and he's very polite. Very nice and very polite. And hanging with just all the cast members. Yeah. They've all been really, really nice.
They sit in all the casting sessions. They pick all the actors, especially the boys.
Prince William, maybe? Yeah. That'd be a good one.
You kill me, man. You kill me.
Wesley Snipes, Ving Rhames, Peter Falk, Ed Lover, and Master P in a film by Walter Hill. One man fighting for his future, the other fighting for honor. Only one will be undisputed. Tear you up, I'm gonna bust you down. It's a fight to the finish. Up and down, it's gonna get ugly round by round. Tough guys. Undisputed.
There's boxing in it, but it's not about boxing. You see what I'm saying? My character could be a CEO of a corporation and Wes of another corporation and doing something illegal to gain something at the end. I think with this piece, though, for me, I think it's a metaphor almost for America or Americans. We are fighters. You see, so I really felt it more on, we have our attributes, positive and negative, but we're fighters. My character says, this is all I know. Anytime I got something good in life, it was because of this. But then at the same time, you take that character, and let's say this character is Mike Tyson, and you applaud him for knocking people out and what have you, but when he makes a mistake, then you condemn him. The same guy that America built, now we're going to tear him down. And now look at Mike Tyson. And then look at Mike Tyson 7-10 years ago. But that could happen to any of us. So for me, when I read this script, I saw these sort of parallels. The bottom line is, can you kick my ass in prison? You said that's the bottom line. Okay, you may say, oh, look, can you kick my ass then? That's fine. So on those kind of levels, to me, I think the film is much deeper than what it may appear to be. And I think even the work that Wesley Snipes does in the piece, his character, he deals with some things on even spiritual levels. I know it. I can see what he's doing. I don't know if everybody gets it, but I know what he's doing, you know. And so it was those elements that made the piece attractive. I was training for about 2 years to do, on and off, to do the Sonny Liston story, Night Train. When that got canceled, this came up. So I was already in very good boxing shape, and then the training just continued after I signed the contract to Vegas and whatever else. But I was training with Sugar Ray Leonard. I was training with Shane Mosley's father, Jack Mosley. I trained with a guy who trained Will Smith, and I trained with a former WBO champ, John David Jackson. If there's anything within my physical ability to do, I will do it. If it's something that I can't do, then fine, a stunt guy can come in. But something like this, you know, I'm athletic, Wes is athletic, and I think the two styles make for a very good fight. He's faster, quicker, I'm stronger. So, you know, it was really, it was a joy, and it was fun, really.
I think in the beginning they wanted me just to be a part of the project, and they gave me kind of a choice to see, once he wrote the script, what character would be most interesting to me. And he told me once when we were sitting at a restaurant in Hollywood, so sitting at the restaurant, going over the deal type of thing, that he wanted an actor that looked, or wanted actors that looked like they were fighters and really fighters. And so that's how he thought of me. I liked Monroe because he was more reserved. I have done a lot of characters that are very extroverted and out there and mouth off and fast talking from the white man can't jump stuff. So I wanted to do something a little bit more contained, a little bit more economical. You know, I liked that he was more cerebral, internal. But then when he got into the ring, he was just a monster. I would say I was about maybe 80% in shape from what you saw, and then that month of training with Emmanuel Stewart just got me in primo condition, 2 hours a day, working with him on all of the fighting elements and the conditioning, correcting mistakes. And then I would go home and practice on my own. You know, look at a lot of boxing tapes, try to find styles or sequences, movements, little quirks, nuances that fighters really do, and then adapt them to my character. It was absolutely necessary that we look like the way we are described in the film and by all the other characters. That had to be very, very believable. That could be kind of scary because if you don't, you either look like you can box or you don't. There's no middle ground. You know, you either look like you know what you're doing or you know. It is unforgiving. When Walter and I talked about doing the film, you know, I asked him, I said, well, you know, if you don't mind, since I have a lot of experience in that, if you defer to me when it comes to the fight choreography. And so myself and a couple of my teammates, we choreographed mostly all of the fight scenes. And I drew a lot from tapes, sequences and actual fights maybe I've seen on HBO or Showtime. Fights that were interesting and exciting and how the crowd responded, and took those sequences and choreographed them. I put those into the choreography for the film. I mean, there is something liberating with knocking somebody out. You may have never experienced that, but there's a very liberating experience. You know, and it can be addictive. First time it happens, you're like, whoa, ho, 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 I like that. And then you want to do it again. He is a very attentive and considerate director. Some directors are not considerate of the actors. You know, they get off into their own groove and they don't care that the actors may be tired or may not be giving their best performance, or they've been waiting around for 6 hours, you know, to come to work. He's very, very attentive and very, very considerate in that way. And he's also very quick, and he knows what he wants. You know, his eye is good. He tells you, he says, let's try something different. You know, I don't know if that worked. Let's try something different. Oh, okay, good. Gives the actors room to develop and to experiment. And he shoots quick. 1, 2, 3 takes, done, gone, out. You know, I like that. I think it's just so much drama in the boxing world. You know, a lot of colorful characters, a lot of drama, whether it be the drama of the fighters or the drama of the managers dealing with the fighters, or the drama of the guys making the negotiation, the bookies, the gangsters involved. It's always something. You got many millions of stories in the boxing world. And I think people are intrigued by it, because even though we see the fighters on screen, we really don't know all of the things that go on behind the scenes. And I think maybe also there's a part of us that's the primal part of us that just likes to see two men get in there and duke it out.
I've been waiting for an opportunity to play a character like this.
Good morning.
It's the story of Kate, a headmistress,
Good morning, Pam.
who lives in a small provincial English town, which is very pretty, but very dull. She's very respected in the local community, and she's single.
She has two very close girlfriends, and they have this bond, and they get together and drink gin and smoke cigarettes and eat chocolate to satisfy themselves in their lack of sex.
He's worth a look, you know.
It's kind of a competition, because there's a prize for the saddest of the week.
I think she seems a bit down. She just needs a treat, that's all.
Molly is the local GP, the doctor.
Go away!
Oh, I'm sorry,
I didn't buzz through, all right? No buzz, no bloody entry.
It's just I fell off my yacht.
Oh, how awful. She does think she's queen bee in this small town, which is very funny. This woman thinks she's absolutely, you know, she's got the hair, and she thinks she's right on, and in fact, she's a bit naff. Is it a big yacht?
And Janine is the local inspector of police.
Okay, let's go. Hooray!
They're all very respectable, all very good at what they do, and all very bored.
He's very nice. There's nothing wrong with him. Exactly. I don't want to settle for someone just because there's nothing wrong with him.
Darling, in our country, identifying a man over 40 with nothing wrong with him is nigh on miraculous. Don't waste it.
Gerald, can I talk to you just a minute?
Certainly, yes. Excuse me. Is it about that abseiling day I mentioned?
Yes, Gerald. Lovely tall buildings, but a bit intense to throw yourself off.
He's a good guy. And that's who she should settle with, if she's looking for somebody to settle down with in an uncomplicated and probably highly dull way.
And so far, so good, until...
Gerald, who was the organist today?
Replacement. Not bad, I thought.
He's this young, sexy boy, and she cannot help but find herself attracted to him, and it's really completely out of character for her. She ends up shagging this young organist on a tombstone, and she doesn't really know quite what to make of it, except that it was really nice, and she felt something special.
She was remarking on your organ the other day.
That's very nice. My organ's at your service whenever you like.
Thank you.
You're not seriously considering embarking on some sort of thing with this individual, are you?
He's not as awful as...
As what? Not as pre-adolescent as he first appears?
Her friends are like, he's a little bit young. But he's really into it, I think. He's really, you know, genuine.
She invites her friends round for dinner in order to meet him properly, because they've only really met him in passing.
Evening, Tarzan. Me seek Jane.
Jed really sticks out and feels very out of place, and so he starts to misbehave. Their ultimate question to Kate is, you know, what does he give you?
All right, 6, take 5, pick up. Action!
We've got something. I know it's hard to take, but we really have. What?
What have you got?
Kate isn't sure of the answer. She feels there is something, but she's not sure of the answer. And it's at that point when Jed, rather embarrassingly, turns around and tells her that he loves her.
You know, not one person here is half as beautiful as you are. Do you feel that too? Or is it just me who's in love with you?
He's going to make that lovely, trusting, stupid person so sad.
Molly's completely convinced that he is using me in some way.
They've tried various attempts by this time to discredit him in Kate's eyes.
I'm right. You'll see. Because we're going to prove it.
And the leg over.
Yes.
Little pause.
Yes.
The turn away
Yes.
for the grandma.
We happy? Henry?
We'll take 5 pickup.
No sale, Grandma.
Always knew you were a mousy little pinprick.
Oh, I know what I like. And the thing is...
Christ.
What I really like is your friend, Kate.
You bastard.
Can't help it. Kate!
It has sort of a bit of bite, a bit of edge to it.
Women are just more interesting than men.
What? What did you just say?
It is a girls' film, isn't it?
And I've bunged 1 or 2 dirty jokes from men in there as well.
I want to be in your pussy right now.